video for What the Stars See gone down with fans so far?
Great. I mean, it seems like they've really gotten on board and understood the direction we were headed in, and especially where I'm headed musically and just stylistically. But they totally got the kind of Blade Runner, fusing pop punk with country aspect of it all. Because Ed Pryor, the music video director, and I were talking about how we really want this video to feel like it could be on TRL when TRL was on MTV. And so I really love the way it turned out. I think the fans, they dig the fashion, and they love the song. So I think when you put a visual to a song that you already love, it's always good. So I'm getting a lot of love, which I appreciate.
Oh, perfect. And what was it like working with Karen Fairchild and Lindsey on the single?
It was so fun. I mean, it was actually Karen's idea to make this a collaboration because she's co-producing me with my producer, Nick Wheeler. And we were listening through songs and we came across What the Stars See. Sorry, that's our garage is literally right underneath me.
That's right.
But I think my friend's taking the car to go somewhere. Yeah, so we were listening through songs to start recording this project and came across What the Stars See, and Karen was like, this should be a collaboration. Like, let's see if we can get people to do it. Like, I'll do it. And I was like, oh my God, stop right there. That's all I need.
Yeah.
You're going to do it. Great. Like, let's get that in writing. And then just thinking about like, another like layer to the song. I just thought of my friend Lindsey, because she's an amazing guitar player and she's one of my favorite people and such a good person. And I just really wanted her to be a part of this project that means so much to me. So, and it's such like a guitar driven song too. So I thought who better to take it to the next level than Lindsey. So they both were in the studio at different times, but I got to be there. So that was fun and just sort of help kind of get what I wanted out of it and hear their sort of approaches. And, it's really fun because they both had added their own kind of vibe to the song. Whereas before it was me doing my thing. So I love how it turned out. I'm really excited about it.
And you mentioned about having like that pop punk sort of element to it. Do you think Nick Wheeler from the All American Rejects, do you think that sort of helped that sort of vibe? Did he bring a lot to the song sort of thing?
Yeah, I mean, I love All American Rejects, and he and I toured back in 2008 together in Australia and New Zealand actually. So we've kind of known each other through the years, but he totally gets what I want out of this. Like he lives here in Nashville. He's been here for a few years, but he, obviously comes from the same world I come from. So to really hone in on the sound that I wanted and to really like have someone understand what that is exactly was just so refreshing and so nice. I don't have to explain what pop punk is to him. He knows. Yeah. And, he obviously knew how to create it. And then of course, getting in the studio, having the live band, having Karen's input on how to kind of still cater to my country influence, because that's in there too. It just kind of all came together, and both of them working together has just been pretty special.
Oh, amazing. And so what's next for you? Have you got any more singles in the pipeline or an album possibly coming out this year?
Yeah, definitely both. I want to keep this train rolling, so I want people to get more of an idea of what's to come. So I want to release another song that's very much, continuing to tell the story of my story, but also the sonic story of like where this project is going. And then, there's definitely going to be an album at some point. Haven't picked a date or anything like that, but yeah, I've got the songs and we're almost done recording everything. So it's just a matter of picking the right time and trying to get out on the road to support it, and making sure that it has all the support it needs to do well when it comes out.
Oh, perfect. And I'm sure fans will look forward to that when that gets announced.
Yeah, I mean, I recorded an acoustic album, or released an acoustic album last year, which really felt good to release, but I think fans haven't really heard me in this way in a while. Stages in 2019 was my last full band record, and even that didn't quite lean so rock. So I think, I'm excited for fans to hear me kind of go back to the pop punk days of Hey Monday and just kind of feel nostalgic again.
All right, great. And so COVID-19 has affected the music industry dramatically over here in the UK in the past year or so. How has it affected the industry in your area? And did you ever lose any motivation during this tough time?
I never lost motivation. I just, it just felt, it was hard. Because when you're used to being on the road constantly and that's your lifestyle and it's just, it stops and it just feels like a jolt, and it kind of feels like I think it's really important for all of us to try and find our worth in just ourselves and not in our careers, because it's all so fleeting and it all could just blow up in flames any day. And it kind of felt like it did during COVID-19. So I just kept reminding myself, this is temporary. You're not the only person going through this. Like, every artist is feeling like this. And I really felt comfort in the fact that I wasn't alone in this very tricky, confusing time. But no, I never really felt like, okay, I'm done, I'm gonna move on, because I knew this was a temporary thing for the industry. But man, you guys really have taken, I think, the biggest hit out of everyone. So I'm glad to hear that things are getting a little bit better and it's opening up again.
Yeah. I guess like as a sort of like music magazine, like an online magazine, it's difficult to, there's no gigs and stuff like that, but I think the live streams and stuff like that and the actual gigs and brings the music industry as a community together, which I think that's what's been brilliant just to see that in the last year. If you're going to take any positive from it, I guess it would be that sort of thing, but although it would be quite difficult.
It's a placeholder.
Yeah. So are you performing any festivals, or have you got any tour plans lined up for this year? You're probably ready to sort of go out and tour like sooner rather than later, I would have thought.
I'm so ready. I have some shows sprinkled in. I don't have a tour booked yet, but I'm working on something for the fall that it's not been confirmed or anything. And I want to go out and play shows, but I also want to do it where all my fans are safe and they feel comfortable, and I can, play venues that I can pack and it's not dangerous. So I'm just, as much as I want to get back out there, and I do have a couple of shows booked, I kind of want to wait until we can just do it full force and it can be like a normal show again. So, and then that feels like probably the fall will be the time. So
yeah, I guess you want to make it safe for everyone and not give someone a choice almost. Like whether if there's a choice of like risking your safety or going to see you want to make sure it's sort of like you're gonna, like you said, full on.
And it's also for me, like for I know everybody's an adult, they can make their own decisions, and it's not up to me to tell people how to be safe. But it's also like, I want it, when I go back on tour, I want it to feel like I'm back on tour, back, in the good old days when we could pack a rock club and it's not weird. So that's also it too, just feeling like we can just be free and just say fuck it and we're good and we can have fun.
Yeah, no, exactly that. And so next year marks 10 years since your first edition of The Voice. How has your life changed since your blind audition of Torn back in 2012?
God, that's so weird. It'll be 10 years in next December. It'll be 9 years in December.
Okay. So was that, I thought it was 2012, was it? Or
2012. Yeah.
So next year. Sorry. Yeah.
No, it's okay. It feels like 30 years ago. It changed everything. It gave me a platform. It brought me here to Nashville. I remember the show ending and having a choice of doing pop music or country music, and I grew up singing country music, and I had sung some country songs on The Voice, so I just felt this gravitational kind of pull from Nashville. So I just came here, and without that show, I might not have been embraced as quickly. I got in some amazing rooms with some incredible writers. So that probably wouldn't have happened. And I inherited a deal, you know, a record deal and publishing deal from The Voice. So all of that just kind of being built in is just already just such a huge shortcut. So and then also having like a built-in fan base who knew my story, who, you know, it was funny, like everybody I had met, all the fans I had met after The Voice, it felt like they knew me, you know, they were talking to me like, hey, like it wasn't like I wasn't this unattainable, you know, huge kind of celebrity that you can't relate to. I was just this person who you got to know through a TV show, and then you see them in person and you're like, oh, hey, you know, what's up? So it was really cool to just have that built in and step in, because at that point I had been doing the grind, and I was in my band, and before that I was in bands where we didn't have a deal, and it was just really grueling, and touring in a van across the country, and you know, being in and out of different record deals that went wrong. So at that point I was like so ready to do something like The Voice that was just, okay, I had exhausted every avenue and it's time to just let this thing happen. We'll see where it goes. And it actually ended up being harder than all of those things beforehand. It was really hard. So yeah, that also gave me endurance. I had to work super hard after the show to prove myself, and that show gave me that endurance to keep doing that. So it gave me lots of things, and I'm so just grateful for that experience and hope to go back again soon.
Right, it just proves that hard work pays off as well. So
yeah, because when you win that show, it's not like, okay, and I've made it. You know, it's people want, that show has 2 seasons a year, so they're moving on to the next contestant, and you have to prove yourself and prove to people, no, I didn't just do the show to win it and then I'm done. Like I did it to like catapult me into the music industry. So you do have to work really hard after the fact, more than you would think, you know.
And just one last question. Thank you very much for your time today, Cassadee.
Of course.
Thank you. If you could work with any band or artist on a new song, who would it be and why?
Okay, it would probably be Rihanna. Because I've just always loved her voice, but more than anything, I just love everything she stands for. She's so empowering. She's so authentically herself and fearless and unapologetic. So that's how I feel in this new kind of journey in this new project. And I want kind of like her career to me is something I would love to model my career after, because she's just she's remained so authentic and true to herself, and having her be a part of this project would kind of just reiterate that that's what I want for mine. And that, you know, they say like, if you surround yourself with the people you're inspired by and that kind of add fuel to your fire, it only benefits you. So to have her be a part of this would do that for me. It would be amazing.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, that's perfect. Thanks again for your time. Really appreciate it.